If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new lecture in complex number. So today we will see logarithm of a complex number and some extra points that we have to remember in complex number. Okay, then let's see this. Okay, the topic is now logarithm of a complex number. Okay, so suppose if you have a z of this format, so the best way to do logarithm of a complex number is to represent it in Euler's method, because log of e is 1 we know, so we can use that one. So suppose you can write it in this format, because if you know polar format you can write it Euler's format. So if you take log, suppose you want to take log of z, then you take log of z, log of a plus log of b, a into b is log a plus log b. This is log of r, log e to the base e is always 1, so I theta will directly come down. So the answer is this one, log of z. One example I have given, suppose log of I they have asked you. So I you can write 1 e to the power minus 5 I pi by 2. So it is log 1 log e, 1 is 0, log 1 is 0. So it is log I is nothing but I pi by 2. So this you can see how to take log. Now some extra points which we have to see to complete this one, complete the theory discussion. So from Euler's method you can see cos theta is equal to this plus this divided by 2, because e to the power I theta, e to the power I theta was cos theta plus I sin theta, and e to the power minus I theta is cos theta minus I sin theta. So if you add these two, so sin theta will get 2 cos theta, so cos theta will be this by 2. If you subtract these two, then cos theta will cancel, you will get 2i sin theta. So it is, if you divide by 2, you will get sin theta. So it is the formula for cos theta sin theta also. Now this one, z plus z1 whole square z minus z2 whole square is equal to 2z1 square plus z2. This median theorem, Apollonius median theorem. So you know this one, if suppose this is a triangle ABCD, I think we have explained it. This is the median, suppose these and these are length. So what was the formula? AB square plus AC square was 2 into AD square plus BD square. The similar of this format is used here. So what is z minus z2 and z minus? This one is z minus z1, this is z minus minus z1. This is the distance between z1 z2, this is the distance between z1 and minus z2, because it is z1 minus minus z2. So you have seen mod is nothing but the distance between 2 points. Suppose you have a point z1 and you have a point z2. So this one z1 minus z2 is the distance between these two. This one they are talking about, this distance. Suppose this is z2, and z2 plus z1 plus z2, that can be written as z1 minus minus z2. So this is the distance between z1 and minus z2. So minus z2 will come here. So this is the distance. Now you can see this is the triangle. This is your A. You can B, C, D, because these and these are length is same, because it is minus means you just take reflection, this length same, this becomes median. So this square, so this is nothing but z1 minus z2, and this distance was nothing but z1 minus minus z2, which is z1. So this square plus this square, this square plus this square is equal to 2 into this. This is nothing but mod z1, and this is nothing but mod z2. Either this or this, both is equal to mod z2. So you can see this is the answer. This is nothing but your, so any geometric format, because you know in complex number there is a relation between complex number and the point in coordinate geometry. So you will find lots of relation with that. Suppose ABCD are the 4 points, then representing Z1, Z2, then AB is parallel to CD, then this is purely real. This will come from the vector concept. Suppose you have a vector, this is a parallel vector. So there is no change in the magnitude. The difference is only it is a scalar product. Suppose if it is a then it will be either 2 into A or 3 into A. There will be no change, you will see in vector. Because parallel vector, there is no change in sign. So there will be no change in ijk or everything. Just it will be, because it is parallel line, you can see x plus y is equal to 4. What is the parallel line? 2x plus 2y is equal to 6. Suppose there will be change in constant, that's it. Or x plus y equal to 3, because you have seen these coefficients remain same, then it becomes parallel. So the coefficients remain same, the difference is in the constant term only. So here also coefficient remains same means xy coordinates, these values will remain same. So this by this, z4, suppose it is z1, z2, z3, z4. So this z4 minus z3 will be towards this one, z2 minus z1 will be. These two are parallel if they, then this by this will be purely real, because it is just a scalar multiplication, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 4 times, that's what will be, because direction is not changing. And if they are perpendicular, then it will be purely imaginary, because if you see, because this is complex number, suppose it is z1, z2, it is z3, z4. So you have seen if this is a complex number z1 minus z2, if you multiply it by I, then it becomes, it rotates at an angle of 90 degree. How it rotates at an angle of, if you multiply it I or minus I? If you multiply it I, it goes anti-clockwise 90 degree. If you multiply it minus I, it goes clockwise 90 degree. So because it is 90 degree, so it should, you have multiplied it with some I. I means it is purely imaginary because there is no real part. You are multiplying with either I2, I3, I whatever, angle will change 90 degree if you multiply with only purely imaginary. So from that concept also you can think. This factorization you have to remember, these are the factorizations of beauty of omega. A square plus AB plus B square, in place of AB we can write it because 1 plus omega square is 0. So omega plus omega square is equal to minus 1. So this we use extensively. So in place of this one we have plotted minus omega plus omega square. So it will be minus minus plus 1. Now you can factorize it. Open it, just take common, it is something of this one. A minus omega b, A minus omega square, this one. Similarly this one also, A plus omega b, A plus omega square. Similarly this one also, you can write it instead of 1, omega cube, this will give you 1. Instead of this 1, you put it this minus 1 with a minus. If you open it, you will get it something like that. Now that what the same I told you in coordinate geometry. If a point divides 2 points and the ratio m is to n, then what was the formula? mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n. Same you can think of z1, but here with a single formula it will come. In that coordinate geometry you have to write for x and then comma y, my to n, but here with a single z it will, because here real part is there, imaginary. Real you will do separately, imaginary you will do it separately, because real and imaginary doesn't mix it, so you can put it same together. But here in coordinate geometry we have to put with a, we have to separate it by a comma. We write it mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n, then comma, how we have separated it this way, ny1 divided by m plus 1. But here in z itself it is separated because it is x2 plus I by 2. These and these will not mix. So it's single notation you can directly write. Because z1, z2, z3, suppose they represent a point ABC, vertices of a triangle, then the centroid is the same, divided by 3, x1 plus x2 plus, no need to give comma, x, y, both are included in this z only. This series, cos series, this series you can see a proof of this series. Suppose you need to add cos theta plus cos 2 theta plus dot 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 blah blah blah. So you can write it in as a summation of k is equal to 1 to n cos k theta. We are putting the values of k 1, then it is 1. How, what we can write it, this you can write it the real part of cos theta plus I sin theta, and this is real part of cos theta 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta. Why I am doing so? Because this one is nothing but e to the power I theta, this is e to the power I 2 theta. So this is the real part of e to the power I theta, this is the real part of e to the power I theta. So this entire thing I can write it the real part of summation k equal to 1 to n e to the power I k theta. If you put 1 e to the power I theta, then this is this. If you take real part, then cos theta. If you put k equal to 2, this one. If you take real part, then cos theta. So you add these two and take only real part. So this series will come. If you take imaginary part, the next series, that sin theta cos theta, that will come. Sin theta plus sin 2 theta. Now if you add this is a GP series. You can see every time it is increasing by e to the power I theta. So what was the formula summation for GP series? A is here first term, because first term is e to the power I theta, next term is e to the power I 2 theta. It is continuously growing like this. So you are multiplying every time by e to the power I theta. So real part, first line is e to the power I theta, A into r to the power n is here k, so you can write k minus 1 divided by r minus 1. So now you can multiply it by e to the power I n, total term is n, so e to the power, so suppose I can take e to the power n theta by 2 common, so e to the power I n theta by 2 minus e to the power minus I n theta by 2. If you multiply these two, 1 will come. Similarly here e to the power I theta, if you take common, e to the power I theta by 2. By now I think you have already guessed it what I am doing, because this minus this will give you something that you have seen, sine. So this is coming, you can see sin n theta by 2 by sin theta by 2, using this formula, this by this, because this minus, if I divide both sides by 2i, then this will give me sin real part of this, what it will give, by 2. So it will give you e to the power I theta by 2. Then if you take theta by 2 common, e to the power I 1 plus n theta by 2, and this will give you sin n theta by 2 divided by sin theta by 2. So you can see that this will come out because this is real part multiplied by this one. So if you take real part, what is the real part of this one? Cos n plus 1 theta by 2. So you can see this one, cos n plus 1 theta by 2 multiplied by this one is the real part. What is the imaginary part? Sin n plus 1 by I sin n plus 1 by 2, because these will be splitted into two parts, then multiplied by this. So real will be this into this, imaginary will be this into this. So with this can be proved. There was one additional. This is triangle law of triangular inequalities. Sum of two sides is greater than the third one. Difference of two sides is always less than the third one. So this one we have seen. This one just extension. One additional mod is given because we don't know which one is greater. So just difference I am considering, difference between the lengths. That's why additional mods is given to make it positive. That's it. And this is the difference between the two sides. Difference between two sides less than third. Sum of two sides greater than. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.